So Michelle has created some new documents for all of us to use, which they're really, really amazing. Now, keep in mind, we have like tools, like we have tools coming out of the yin yang. We have like info groups, we have trainings, there's the back office. Like there's so much stuff that sometimes the thought of creating something new seems silly, but at the same time, if it can be something new that is simple for you guys to use, and especially new coaches coming into the team, it's so effective. So what we're finding is like people are almost paralyzed, like new coaches and even seasoned coaches. It's like, I don't know what to say. Like, if I have somebody interested in joining my accountability group, like, I really don't even know what to tell them. And I don't know how to explain what a challenge group is. Or if somebody is in, I don't talk about coaching because what if somebody is interested in coaching? Like, I don't even know how I would explain to them what coaching is. Like, I think that that's sort of a generalized consensus on the team. And even things with like Shakeology, you maybe aren't promoting a challenge pack as well because like, well, yeah, you love Shakeology and it's great, and you know you drink it because I told you to drink it, but like otherwise you really don't know how to explain how awesome Shakeology is for people, and you don't even know where to look to send information, so you just like shut down and just continue to just post about your workouts and your kids, and you know, because that's easier than feeling uncomfortable with not knowing what to say. So Michelle created 3 really awesome, simple documents that everybody can use. I have been using them already. They work wonderfully. They're just so simple. So I'm going to share my screen and just show you something in my team page. Hold on here. Need to move this darn thing. Okay, there we go. Okay, so in the Abundance Nation team page, if you go into the files section, and I kind of cleaned out the file section today just to keep it a little bit simpler and, you know, got rid of some things that weren't really relevant anymore. So take a look at the file section, look at some stuff in here because some of these things might be really helpful for you. Like, here's the tracker. If any of you aren't using the Success Club system tracker, maybe because you're saying like, well, I don't even know where to find it. Here it is. Like, I just printed it out this morning for this new week because today's Thursday and that's when the tracker starts. So here's my tracker that I just printed out. I went in here, printed it. Here's some scripts that I've put in here to help you guys. Here are the Zoom links. Everyone is always like, what's the link? What's the link? Well, the link is here. It's been here since 2018. Here is my link for all of my team calls and Michelle's link for all of Michelle's team calls. So that's there. And then of course, this is actually something I put in here just recently. This is a document that has every single sample workout that we have from Beachbody On Demand. If you are running a free group, for instance, this is an amazing thing to put in your free group and give to people because it has every sample workout program. They can just click into it and there's a bunch of free workouts that you can use for a free group. And then of course, if you go into third-party videos, I should change this to third-party tools. This is very important. If you did not know about this, you now do, and hopefully you will use it. So if you are talking to someone and they're interested in the workouts, your challenge group, Beachbody On Demand, Shakeology, coaching, whatever, come in here and figure out what will be best to send them. You don't need to be the provider of information. Like, all you can say to them is like, awesome, I am so glad you are interested. This sounds like it will be amazing for you. I'm going to quickly grab a video for you to take a look at, and then let's chat after. That's how simple this is. Like, we complicate this whole like sales process so much. So the new ones that Michelle created, so obviously I've got, you know, a video for Ultimate Portion Fix, Beachbody On Demand, challenge group. So this is one of the documents that Michelle created. And it basically says, what is an accountability group? And it talks about Shakeology, nutrition, the fitness, the support. There's a video that they can watch that goes over a little bit about that. It talks about how it works, and it talks about the workouts. And there's a video about Beachbody On Demand, and shows like a visual of what Beachbody On Demand is. And then there is also one for what is coaching. So this is awesome. Like, I mean, everybody kind of gets hung up on, what do I say to somebody who's interested in coaching? You can send them this and have them look over the information and then connect afterwards. Very, very simple. And one on Shakeology as well. So again, you don't need to be the one who explains what Shakeology is and why they need it. You can share your experience with Shakeology, and then you can send them this video. Very, very simple. Plus, there are also videos in here, like video links that you can just quickly copy and paste to send to anyone who is interested in anything. So you don't need anything more than this file right here in order to run this business. Talk about it, and then come grab a video. Like, it's that simple. So I hope that that helps you guys. Oh, good, there's more people on now. So hopefully that helps. Like, was everyone aware that that was in there in the file section for you guys to use? No, Michelle's even like shaking her head. Okay, so hopefully you guys will use that more, because it's simple. Like, you don't need to go searching the back office for videos. I've done it already. That's actually been in there for months and months. And I just updated it today with those new documents. So use that. Keep this simple, you guys. Like, you don't need to send long-winded things to people. When someone says, yeah, sure, I'd love some information, you go, awesome. Okay, I'm going to send you this video because I think this will be perfect for you because da 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 da, and then send the video or send the document. That's it. Like, we need to just go back to keeping this stuff really, really simple. Okay. Any questions about that? No. Okay. So what I want to talk about tonight is inviting. And I'm going to keep this like short, hopefully. I talked about this a little bit on Tuesday during like office hours for whoever hopped on there. Somebody asked about, like, I forget what the exact question was, but like, how do I invite, or I don't know what the question was. So I went into a little bit of detail, and I think it was helpful for whoever was on. And it got me thinking, okay, well, maybe this is something that I need to keep talking about. I feel like I do talk about this like all the time, but again, I think we just need to hear things over and over and over again. So inviting, is that something you guys struggle with? Is it something that you do? Is it something that you don't do? Why don't you do it? What makes you uncomfortable? Like, can you guys put this stuff in the chat box just so I can kind of like direct the flow of the conversation to this? Because I don't have anything prepared. I'm just going to go off of what you guys need. But like, what's holding you back? What, like, when you hear inviting, what do you think? Why aren't you doing it? Just throw some stuff at me. Okay. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about how I invite. And again, everybody does this differently. So when I hear the word invite, like, I kind of get like frozen up too. And it's like, ooh, good. Like, ooh, invite. And I think that some people, like, inviting is like such a broad term. And some people might think that, like, you know, creating a post with a call to action is inviting, or doing polls on your stories is inviting. And essentially those are inviting. But when I actually hear like the word like send out invites, to me that is like a message into somebody's inbox inviting them to join my wellness club or coaching. Like that is sort of what I'm going to refer to right now. And as far as like the tracker, does my inbox, or does my inviting box get checked every day? No, it doesn't, because I don't force it, and I don't send cold messages. I refuse to send invites just because it's showing up on my tracker. I send invites when the time is right, and when like I'm feeling, basically when I'm feeling like it's the right time. I'm just gonna look at these comments. Okay, so it sounds like the cold message is kind of what everybody's referring to. Okay. So, all right, bear with me because I really didn't prepare anything about this, but hopefully it'll all just flow and make sense. Okay, so how I invite. So I really try to invite through my content. And this is something that everybody needs to be doing on a regular basis. So when you go and look at your Instagram and you look at your posts, are you inviting in your posts? Do your posts have what we call a call to action? So, and I'm not saying every single post has to be this way, but a lot of them should have some type of like, are you ready to join me? Or, you know, have you thought about starting your health and fitness? Or if you're interested in more info, drop me an emoji, or head to my bio and fill out my form for more details. Like though those like the lingo that I just said, all of that kind of stuff should be coming at the end of your posts fairly regularly. Like I don't think you can overdo that. If you're giving value in a post, there's no reason why at the end you can't have a call to action. You know, obviously there's going to be certain posts where it doesn't make sense for you to be like, join me. So don't force it, but we run a business, right? Like you have to be asking people to join you. So make sure that you are inviting through your posts. Make sure that you are constantly inviting through your Insta stories. So I always say it, but within like a 24-hour period on my Insta stories, I make sure that there is at least one invite in there. So at least one poll that is like, you know, are you interested in joining my wellness club? Or would you like more details about this shake I'm drinking, or my Energize, or like, have you thought about becoming a coach too? So I utilize that poll feature every single 24 hours about coaching or my wellness club, for sure. So if you go right now and look through your Insta stories, do you have a poll inviting to this opportunity? Or use the quiz feature. I'll also throw in a quiz feature, and you can have like different options, because sometimes people accidentally hit the polls. Very rarely do they accidentally hit a quiz. Or use the question box, like, you know, are you interested in getting started with me? And you can have the question box, or you could say like, drop an emoji in here, and people can drop an emoji or drop their email address, whatever. Never does somebody accidentally do that, whereas the polls, hit or miss, it can be an accident. So make sure that you are doing those things within a 24-hour period. Like right now, oh, does someone have a question? Or just unmuted? Okay. Like if I went right now to every single one of your Insta stories, would I see an opportunity to join you? Like, Can you ask yourself that and just go like, either like, oh crap, nope, there's nothing. If somebody came to my page right now, it just looks like I have a hobby on my Instagram stories. Or will I know that you have something for me to join and a way for me to say, yes, I want to join too. So that is huge. So always inviting through your post, always inviting through your Insta stories. And then I am not going to be the person who, Liz, can you just shut that door? You keep coming in and out. So out you go and shut the door, okay? Okay, shut the door. I'm not going to be the person who like randomly sees someone on Facebook or goes through my followers and starts sending copy and paste messages like, hey girl, hope you don't think this is too random, but I'm filling spots for my group. Wondered if you were interested. I'm not going to just start mass putting out those messages because, for one, they might not even follow me. Like, they might not even know who I am. They may never have seen a post from me. Even if they do follow me, they may have never seen a post of mine or ever watched my Insta stories. So I will not be that person who sends out that kind of message. And I don't really recommend that you do either, because that is spammy and you don't even know this person. But more importantly, they don't know you. So if I'm inviting someone, I want to feel as though they know me, even more than I know them, right? Because odds are people are watching us closer than we are watching them. So it's important that they know who I am, so that when I send them a message, they already sort of feel like they know me. So it's not spammy. It's not like, ooh, gross, she's messaging me, right? Does that make sense? So you want to make sure that the people you are messaging know you. So how are you going to know whether or not they know you? Well, the people who are tapping your polls, they know you. If you are showing up on your Insta stories daily or very regularly and showing you and showing your real life, they know you. Like, it only takes somebody to watch you for 24 hours before you can be like, wow. Like when a new coach joins our team and wants to have a call with me and they're not one of my coaches, all I need to do is go watch their Insta stories. And I'm like, okay, I feel like I get who she is. I can get on a call with her and I feel like I know her already. So when people watch us for even 24 hours, they get a pretty good sense of who we are. So they start to know us. So the people who are tapping on our story, tapping on our polls, commenting on anything on our Insta stories, those people, they know us. So I feel pretty comfortable inviting those kinds of people and sending messages to those people. Same with my posts. If somebody is like very regularly liking my posts or commenting on my posts, I feel like they probably know me pretty well. So it's not going to be really weird that I'm messaging them, because they're following me, they're invested in who I am, and they probably like me. So I'll get back to like how I would message those people. But another thing that I will do, so let's say I am I'm scrolling on Instagram and I'll see somebody who I'm like, oh, they're awesome. Like I want this person on my team. I would love to connect with this person. Well, I'm not going to necessarily send them a message, because again, is this person even following me? Just because I follow them does not mean that they follow me back. Whereas on Facebook, if you're friends with someone, it's like a mutual thing. You can't be friends with somebody, but they have unfriended you. Like, if they unfriended you, you will never see them again. Like, that's just the way Facebook works. But Instagram, I can follow 100 people and not one of those people actually follow me back. So I'm nobody to them. So if I see somebody on Instagram who I'm like, oh yeah, like this woman looks awesome, we've got tons in common, I want to first figure out, does she even follow me? So I'll sometimes like just jot down names. Like when I'm doing my power hour and I see people, I'll maybe just like jot down a few names of, like, I really have to feel connected to them. Like I really want to feel like they're a good quality person that I would want on my team. And then I can even just search their name up in my following to see if they follow me. Does that make sense? I get confused on follower following, but basically I can confirm, is this person even following me? Because if they're not following me, I'm not messaging them, because that's creepy and weird. That's spammy. But if they're not following me, what I can do is I can sort of interact with them a little bit more. I can watch their Insta stories if they have any Insta stories. I can comment on their posts. I can make like a point to go in every day to like engage with them if they're active on Instagram. That might make them follow me back. But if they don't follow me back, I move on, because I'm not going to waste my time with somebody who's not following me. If I do see that they follow me, well, then maybe I'll go quickly look at my Insta stories and see, does this person watch my Insta stories? And then if I discover that they watch my Insta stories, I'm like, awesome. Okay, so this person probably does know me. So I will send them a message, and I'll say something like, hey, I've seen your name pop up on my Insta stories, and I just wanted to say thanks for the support. Are you into health and fitness too? It's like a lame message, but I might just send that. Or I might even be more ballsy and just say like, you've probably seen that I'm opening up enrollment into my wellness club. I'm just wondering if this is something you've ever thought about doing. I'm always looking for other women to join me. Have you thought about it? So again, because she is following me, because she watches my stories, I don't consider that like a cold message necessarily, because I'm assuming that she knows who I am. I'm assuming that she likes who I am, because I know that when I show up on Insta stories, I am giving value. I am authentic. I am showing up as like very real. I share about what I do, so people know that I am into working out and eating healthy. I drink a shake, I have Energize, but I'm also, a mom of 4. I'm also a registered nurse. Like, I feel like people know that stuff about me. So it doesn't feel cold and icky when I message these people. So if you're messaging somebody who follows you or who watches your stories and you feel weird about it, I guess just ask yourself, like, what makes you feel weird? Like, why? Do you think that maybe you're not showing enough value, or that you're not showing enough of yourself and your life so that people would know you? Or like, why is that making you feel weird? Because I look at the people who follow me and I just, in my head, I assume that they really like me. I assume that they are interested in me. They might not necessarily be interested in what I have to offer, but they're interested in me as a person, and they like me, and that they probably relate to me, and that they're entertained by my children. Like, I just assume the best. I'm not assuming that people are watching me making fun of me or anything. So why wouldn't I reach out to these people if they're watching me? So does that kind of help a little bit? Like, I think it's just, we have to get over the discomfort of it. So something that comes up all the time, and Janelle, you're touching on this, is how do you transition from chatting about random stuff, building the relationship, to health and fitness? I think this is like a block that everybody has, and everybody sort of says this exact question to me. And all it is it's just like, it's a block that you have. You're just like resisting going down that path. You're resisting sending that message of, have you ever thought about joining me? Because you're like, well, no, but we're not there yet. But you are just resisting it. It's making you feel uncomfortable. So you're coming up with like a reason why, oh, I can't send this message yet. So there isn't a way to like transition into that. I think that would be weird if all of a sudden you were like, hey, so I just, I know we were talking about our kids last week, but I'm wondering, like, have you ever worked out before? Like, that's weird. But it's not weird to be like, hey, this might sound weird, but I know that we were chatting last week about our kids, and I just feel really connected to you. I was wondering if you'd ever thought about joining my team. I'm always looking for other women who are similar to me, and I feel like you would fit in really well. Have you ever thought about it? Like, did that sound weird? Does that sound like that needed a transition ever? No, likely not, especially if she's watching you on social media and she's seeing that you talk about the coaching opportunity fairly regularly. You talk about your team, you talk about why you are doing this in the first place. Then it's not that you need a transition, you just need to go for it. Because if you don't go for it, somebody else will go for it, unfortunately. Um, does that help, Janelle? I think it's just resistance, and it's like, oh gosh, is it the right time? Should I invite them now? Well, if it's the right person, it doesn't matter the right time, wrong time. Like, it's going to work if it's the right person. And if it's the person that's not interested, then they're not interested. It doesn't matter how the conversation transitioned. Um, okay, going through here. So how do you gain new followers? So yeah, that's kind of like a whole other topic. And I've done calls on that. So make sure you guys check the units of the team page that I was just in, because the unit section has all of the past team call recordings. And I label them pretty well so that you can kind of know what the subject of the team call is. So there is one on finding new followers. So that's just like a whole other subject, which I can chat with you about later. But that's like another task that you would do aside from inviting. Janelle, okay. It depends. If they continue to engage with my posts and my stories, sometimes I will. Like, if they're tapping a poll again that's like interested in something, sometimes I'll leave it a few times. Like, if this person, I'm like, why are you keep tapping them? Like, you've never responded to my messages. But then other times I will just be like, hey, me again. So I have no idea if you keep doing this by accident, or maybe like the universe is trying to tell you that you should do this. Ha ha ha. But, if you're interested, please respond back, and I'm happy to send you details. Like, I just do that. There's only so many things you can control, right? You can't control if people respond back. So I kind of let that stuff go. Um, yeah. Okay. Does that help, guys? Or where are we at with this? Like, is it like, oh, okay, now I feel comfortable? Or are you still like, yeah, no, that didn't really clarify anything. I still feel not that great. I think because I know that some people will be like, yeah, well, it's the same people watching my Insta stories and I'm not getting any new followers and nobody's tapping my polls. Well, then you need to give yourself a good gut check and be like, okay, well, am I adding to my network every single day? Like, am I growing my page? Am I finding new followers? Am I giving enough value? Am I giving the value that people want to see? Like, do you ask your audience what they want to see from you? I'll use the example of, I don't think she's on here, but Stacy, one of the coaches on my team, she has a background in personal training. So she assumed that her audience wanted to see fitness moves and like all about fitness. So that's what she started posting about a lot, was like fitness and fitness moves and how to have proper form with this and that and this and that. And she was like getting nowhere in her business. And then finally she decided to ask her audience on Insta stories, like through some polls and videos and stuff, and ask them like, what do you guys want to see from me? Nobody wanted to see fitness stuff from her. They wanted like mom tips and recipes to feed their kids. Like, so she was like, oh, all right. And so she sort of changed up things and started posting to what her followers wanted. And she has seen like huge success. She's very close to hitting diamond right now. So you have to ask, like, don't keep posting what you think people want to hear from you. Ask them. Like, you have to like take your business into your own hands instead of being like, well, I'm not getting any new followers. Nobody's hitting my posts or my polls. Nobody's messaging me back. Well, Are you talking to the right people? Are you giving them the right information? Are you constantly giving value? Are you giving anything away for free lately? Especially as a new coach, like I ran free groups every single month, sometimes even twice a month for like the first 2 years of my business. I created like free little PDFs of recipes and oatmeal, overnight oat PDFs to give away, and like holiday cocktail recipes and energy ball recipes. Like I would just like find this stuff on the Beachbody blog, copy and paste it into a doc, and offer it out to people. Like I was just like constantly giving, 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 because people are not going to buy from you when they can't even trust you yet. Like you need to get that credibility under your belt for people to join you. So like you have to really just ask yourself all of those things. Like, am I actually giving this business enough? I can't just be like, well, no one's tapping my polls. Nobody's getting into my inbox. Like, well, why not? Like, why not? Are you only posting about your workouts and your Shakeology every day? Or are you taking the time to give people value? Are you sharing recipes if that's what your people want? Or are you sharing like organization tips? Or like what makes you unique? I'm pretty sure that your whole life you weren't into Beachbody. Maybe even for some of you, like 3 months ago, you weren't even working out. And now all of a sudden that's all you're talking about on your Insta stories. Well, that's not authentic. Like there's more to you than that. Before Beachbody, I didn't work out or eat healthy. So what else did I do? Like what were the things that made me me? Just because now you're a coach doesn't mean that you're like, ooh, okay, so like I drink water all the time and I drink a shake and I work out. Well, no, what else? Like, do you binge eat on weekends on pizza too, like other humans? Do you like, are you drowning at home with your kids? Like, what else is happening in your life and what else brings you joy? Are you like a total like geek with, video games, or do you quilt, in your bedroom like a 80-year-old woman? Like, whatever. What are the things like make you you, and share those things, because people have to trust you and like you, and you have to like show who you are in order to get these people to want to interact with you. And then you'll have people to invite when you are really showing up as yourself. You will. Okay, I'm just reading some things. Yeah, so I think that like people who are watching your Insta stories, they're watching you for a reason. And so I just assume that they're watching me because they're interested. And if they don't respond to my messages, that's fine. They're just not ready yet. Or they'll unfollow me because now I message them and they're like, ooh, gross, I don't want to talk to her. Well, that's fine because you're not my person anyways. So don't ever get offended by lack of response or by people following you or unfollowing you. Because I always find that when I will like send off some messages, I find that then I get some unfollows. Well, that's fine. I'm totally fine with that. It doesn't even bother me because I only want my people to be engaging and interacting with my stuff. So another thing that I'll do too is I do a lot of just like random polls. Like, I mean, I'm just like always doing polls. If I can put a poll on a story, I put a poll on a story. So something that I do most mornings is like I have my oracle cards, like my affirmation cards, and I'll do like I'll flip over 2 of them and I'll say which message speaks to you today. And people can vote either A or B. Well, in that instance, I'm not going to message those people and be like, yeah, that message spoke to me too, or I'm so glad that message hit home for you. Like, I'm not going to send a message like that, but a lot of people tap those kinds of polls because they have nothing to do with my business. So it almost feels safe for them. Like, I'll get like 30 people tapping those polls. And then when I do a poll about my wellness club, I'll get like 2, and one of them is me. So doing these like safer polls a lot of the time, like even just like, are you a dog person or a cat person? Like, for example, because I'm staring at my cat, probably a lot of people will tap that poll, right? So don't message them about the poll that they tapped, but take note of who is tapping that very simple, easy, non-threatening poll, because those are like your low dangling fruit. Those are people who are taking the time to watch you probably most days. They're tapping it, they're engaged, they're invested in you. So I will often then go to, like in the morning when I start my work, I'll go to a poll I did the day before that was like a very simple, like my affirmation cards, and I will message those people. And I'll just say, like, hey, I saw your name pop up on my stories. I just wanted to say thanks for following along. And usually I'll send like an invite. Like, I wanted to see if you were interested at all. Like, whatever I've been like talking about in my Insta stories, if it's my Wellness Club or coaching, like, I'll just say, I'm not sure if you noticed, but, right now we've got a flash sale happening. Were you interested in checking that out? Or, not sure if you noticed, but I just opened up enrollment for my wellness club. I'm really excited about the ladies that have been joining. Are you interested at all in hearing details? So I just like do that. Like, does that make sense? Like, hopefully it doesn't sound as scary and threatening. So I find those like low dangling people who it doesn't feel weird, because I'm like, oh, she probably watches me most days if she's tapping these like easy polls that I'm putting up. So that's how I'll often get a lot of conversations happening in my inbox, because the people who tap my actual call to action polls, they don't usually tap them. Like, very rarely do I get people who tap those. So anyways, I hope that helps. Do you guys have any questions at all or comments? No? Okay, well, I hope that makes inviting simpler, and get out there and start talking about the flash sale. All right, we'll see you guys later.